Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Break It Dawn. Let's get acquainted with the arena.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Arena Beast Claws. Intimidating monomolecular edge claws capable of tearing through solid plasteel. And I'm guessing the means to our escape.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Well, that's some pretty morbid art on display. And more than likely it's still alive.
Keep your wits about you.
You're unable to discern the bottom of the abyss out of which Kimura's spires rise. A small mercy for your sanity.
Let us not dawdle.
You follow Argenta's gaze to the soaring Drukhari craft and the squirming bodies nailed to its side. That's Sergeant Vigastes. I recognize him. I know his voice. Donald, help me. We have to save these people from this torture. One of the Drukhari on board sneers upon hearing Argenta's shouts, eliciting a wave of approving cheers. Drukhari kicks one of the groaning bodies, blatantly savoring his untouchability. Impossible. Abelard shakes his head, looking at the prisoners. And how do you propose we do that? There has to be a way. I can't simply stand here and watch. This person's missing their arm. Option 1 is the best bet. Better to be mercifully killed than left in the hands of the Drukhari. The only chance of helping him is to shoot him and end his suffering. It is now or never. Argenta does not hesitate for longer than a second before she raises her weapon and fires. The figure flinches and goes limp. I feel like getting shot with a heavy stubber would warrant more than a flinch, but we'll keep it a little elegant. I'm begging you. Finish me. The prisoner appears dead until you notice his eyes, which are filled with pain and following your every move.
I always keep my options open.
The Commissar, traitor. A ship is supposed to be waiting. A ship waiting. I guess we go back to the Chasm now. The stranger standing before you brings to mind a motley-colored, long-limbed doll, abandoned amid carnage and detritus. The bright colors of his sleek costume seem comical against the unremitting gloom and hostility of this place. Only the sorrowful horned mask that hides his face, and the dark-hooded cloak he wears pay tribute to the overwhelming air of hopelessness. Every move the Xenos makes sings with theatrical precision and a predator's grace. You cannot decide if this person is an accomplished dancer or a master assassin. But when it comes to Harlequins, it's a bit of both. You've never heard of such a Xenos before. What is he doing in the Chasm, and why is he standing before you now? This crib of putrid flesh offends your taste. Oblivion comes now. Here its nocturne plays. I am that starlit strain that chills the soul. The piece that doomed throngs pitches into dance. You are among them, merchant vagabond. To tread the steps I say, escape fate's grasp. I think option 3. I have no intention of dancing to your tune or listening to this raving. Find yourself another toy. The merchant vagabond rejects his role. While the curtains fall will smash the chains and fully break Kimura's iron grip. So heed my sonnet well, it holds the key. A melody of snarling agony, beguiling now by rending flesh bewitched, through sinew, bone, and grisly pageantry. It calls the blood-soaked drape to come unstitched, a haggard corse in the hall behind, their flesh employed to serve the maestro's art. No prayer for mercy slips from throats confined, the baton sets the beat of every heart. And entrails are for him an instrument, and veins a living stave sans parallel. Yet death to him is no impediment, for corpses' tunes do carry just as well. The spectacles of blood and gore forged past should crave your eyes to glimpse sun's light at last. So I think he's telling us to go to the anatomical opera. But I think we'll continue to be dismissive of him. If you're unwilling to relieve me of your presence, at least spare me your senseless verbiage. Of glints and whisper dream the blind and deaf, that you eschew them both for darkness mute. I will not be a pest, I've said my piece. It's hilarious you can hear him huffing and puffing as he runs around. An indigo ripple passes over the Xenos' body, and he dissipates like a bad dream. So we probably head back and deal with the Commissar. But I think we go to the anatomical opera first.
I always have a backup plan.
I really need to get Heinrichs back in the party so I can do all these Xenos checks. Have you seen the fresh meat in the arena? There's an exceptional Monkai. Oh, there's Jai right there. Common Monkai do not last long. May have survived only to be gutted by the bloodstained proselytes tomorrow. Leave. I will break your neck. The monster is looking at the frenzied Jai Haidari in cold silence. Hey, you pile of hot dung. Yeah, you dumb ashmag. I'm talking to you. Jai Haidari's looks match her coarse speech. Disheveled, ratty, and bereft of all her jewelry and rakish glamour. Her eyes, locked on the gatekeeping monster, are brimming with fury and desperation. And her voice resembles a gruff bark. Here's the deal. I need to see your master, to take back what is mine. You hear me? He and I have unfinished business. It doesn't concern you. And besides, Jai notices you and breaks off. Shireen, you're alive. She grits her teeth. Apologies, Donald. One moment. She turns back to the monster. I'm with him. I only need 5 minutes. Don't be a sekek. The monster leans forward to take a closer look. The master said no. Only he is allowed. Go away. Oh, looks like you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, you piece of... Jai breaks off, starts coughing, and throws her head back, drawing in a labored breath. To your surprise, you see living flesh where a neck implant should be, punctured by narrow scars showing where the augment was once grafted onto the woman's skin. Now listen here, you ugly mug. I have an offer to make, and you do well to take it. What happened to you? I was in there, you understand? Jai breaks off and helplessly points at the entrance to the homunculus's chamber. That's where he cut me. The many-armed Ashmag took away my breath. He started by cutting off my head, but I was alive and conscious. I hung from the wires and watched what he did to my body. He took out the implant, the throat, and the lungs, the whole thing. Then he grabbed a chunk of flesh, messed with it, sewed it into place, and everything came back. Jai is overcome by a hacking cough, flecks of blood in her hands when she draws them away from her mouth. I'm dying, Donald. Dying again. You're dying again. Why? It is the Carcina, Shireen. Ajay spits out the word and shuts her eyes tight. The word itself could hurt her. I mean, we know exactly what's wrong with it, but I'll ask anyway. What is wrong with the homunculus giving you new organs instead of an implant? Because they're not organs. They're crap. The mines left me with busted rags for lungs. When the Carcina started, Jai sobs. I nearly died, Shireen. By the time I saved up enough for an implant, I was coughing up blood every day. I almost didn't make it. Now the Xenos Ashmag, the son of a star jackal and a blood-faced Drukari slut, grew a Carcina out of my own flesh, and shoved it back into my throat, along with some crappy organs he'd grown in a bloody jar. It seems we have much to discuss, Jai. Jai guiltily lowers her head. We sure do, Donald. I guess the rip-roaring yarn about the princess from a desert planet won't cut it anymore. But I'm begging you. The woman raises her head and looks at you, eyes glistening with tears. Later, okay? I need to see the homunculus. I need my implant. But let me die the way the rest of the mine rats do. Not that way, Shireen. Any way but that. I address the monster. This woman is with me. The elf clumsily scratches at the fresh scar at the top of its head and concedes. Fine. The master permitted companions. She is a companion now. And so she has the death rattle effect. A terminal throat illness that slowly exhausts its victim. May the Exalted One shower you with blessings, Shireen. I always knew you were a decent sort, not rotten inside. A bit out there, but not rotten. Jai bends over in yet another coughing fit and spits out a crimson-tinted clot. Ugh. Ozzy, take me. I should move my butt while I still can carry it around. Meet. The master ordered that you be let through. When you approach, the augmetics spring to life inside the monster's bulk. An injector hisses, filling its blood with compounds that cause its veins to bulge, and its muscles to swell and twitch spasmodically. What kind of creature are you? I didn't see those guys before. The monster snorts and puffs out its massive chest. I'm an Akathist, servant of Master Tavanchus, his meat driver. What is an Akathist? An augmented warrior is called a Rak, because the homunculus invades his nature like a conqueror, wrecks the mundanity, and creates perfection from whatever is left. An Akathist is the superior among the Raks, as well as the strongest and the most frightening. What offenses earned you this hideous transformation? No, not offenses. Labors. I toiled to be granted this honor. I begged for it, and I received it. It takes a true fool to ask to be transformed into such an abomination. You're a weak meat. That means you are the fool. The monster wheezes, a cord standing out on its neck. I have no more questions. The sullen hiss of a pump built into the Hulk's body is your only reply. We might be able to take him. I'll show you which of us is really meat. The injector system clicks as it drives pistons into the giant's body. It responds with a blind howl of unadulterated rage. The brute lunges, but its strike does not startle you. Hi, Rax, a macrosteroidal gland. A gland capable of injecting the body with macrosteroids, causing rapid bone and muscle growth. So I wonder if we can use that to fix our current bone problem. And then these might be used to fix another companion. Or upgrade a companion. Because I was about to speak to Homunculus, who's a master of flesh. Alright, first up, an exemplar talent. I'm guessing attention on her as well. So after an ally takes an extra turn provided by the character, the ally gains plus 7% armor, plus 7% dodge, and 3 movement points until the end of combat. Does not stack. And we could do supporting zone. Or strong point. So using a stratagem on a combat tactics area for the second time in a turn refunds 1 AP. This effect can be activated once per turn. And we get the one stratagem used for free. Does she have any equipment? Didn't think so. For the Hex Rifle, and I guess this is her backup weapon. Or that instead. Oh, we should have that on him as well. We don't have an assassin in the party, so I'm not going to use that. Oh, well, she's my Lord Xenos expert. So I think it's time we start doing these checks.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Oh, and tech use. It's at 94. She gets it from her fellowship. I think we can try this now. I figure it's mostly going to be trophies and cargo.
A job for me.
But some other stuff too. So Mystic Ward. At the start of every combat, the wearer's allies gain deflection equal to the wearer's psi rating. Whenever an ally suffers any damage and loses non-temporary wounds, its effect is removed from that ally. And Bruiser Boots. Whenever the wearer performs an area attack, they instantly provoke attacks of opportunity from all adjacent enemies. The wearer gains toughness bonus temporary wounds for each attack of opportunity provoked by an area attack. That's pretty good on Abelard. You activate defensive stance first, then use the area attack. And it scales with toughness instead of agility. He gets temporary wounds based off his toughness. That's pretty good. And then I could give this to my main character, but he has these equipped already. I think we just hold on to this for Heinrichs. Let's do a loop around the chasm and
keep your wits
open all these
about
chests
you.
and things that we couldn't do before. I also think that Jai can do this. Now I'm hoping that this guy isn't a secret boss, and since I squandered that one Lord Xenos check, I don't get to fight him.
I won't let it define me.
Why did he make that check? Alright, so I think I have to actually select Jai for that check then. I'm gonna reload that because the wrong character did the check.
Some choose wealth, others prepare power. And me, well, I'm not that picky. I'll take both.
Still failed. The ease at which the flyer took to the air suggests that they made use of profane xenotech.
My pleasure. And done.
got an Incubus Clave. Eldari Ranger Sight. Whoever's Deadeye Shot critical hits triggers Exposed Weakness against the affected enemy until the end of combat. And Hand of Offense. Whoever's melee attack damage is increased by their psi rating. I've seen that already.
Rise to the top or get left in the dust.
Lesson learned.
Is there money to be made? I always have a backup plan.
And it's not that I mind failing checks. I reloaded back there because the wrong character made the check. I already failed one of those checks. I'm assuming that if, oh, here's Iliot. Yodari runs a hand over her face before turning to you. Her pale skin is tightly stretched over the bones of her skull. Her eyes have lost their glimmer, and her neck is stooped under an unseen burden. And yet you still recognize her. Iliot Lenavis? Your former companion, and the reason for your imprisonment within these dark walls. Iliot glances at you, her eyes widening slightly. That is the only change you detect in her tense expression. Whatever emotions she may be feeling, she's suppressing them well. Alantok. Yeah, kill Iliot. The traitor's reckoning has come. Iliot does nothing to avert her fate. Merely lets out a muted sob. Death shrouds her glassy eyes as a tear runs down her cheek. Spineless Carrion. One of the Xenos who are observing Iliot leans forward and tears the radiant crimson gemstone from her chest. At least I will savor the emanations of her soul's eternal agony. Out of my way, Monkai. Oh, she's in for a world of hurt. You just stole her soul stone. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Ever since we killed Adira. Well, Argenta killed Adira. I'm not too concerned with killing companions. And she betrayed us, and she's the reason we're here, so I'm not even going to hesitate.
Sherry?
So she has a 0% chance, despite... Oh no, it's at 0 because she has that one talent.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
I guess I wait for Heinrichs before I do any more of those checks. I saw the 88. I wasn't paying attention to the minus in front of it.
Keep your wits about you.
Only a 55% chance. I don't invest it into Medikai at all. The hideous pile of corpses is giving off an insufferable stench. Did I fail that check? I did. Also, I don't know why Jai was doing that. What's her Medikai compared to Argenta's? Do I need to reload again? So 45, 50, 65. Yeah, hers is higher.
I always keep my options open.
Let's go back to the mangled sector and make sure I didn't miss any
dust.
tech uses down there. Alright, there's the guy that got Abelard.
An expected result.
If this was a different game, I'd be a little bit more concerned about taking this guy on, but we have Abelard in the party, so I'm not too worried about it. Abelard, it could have been worse. Could have ended up like that guy. Alright, let's see what he can do. 495 health. It's a vital energy. This creature has increased weapon skill, ballistic skill, and deals more damage. Devitalization. Chthonnos Pain Engine deals or heals and gains plus 10 ballistic skill, plus 10 weapon skill, and plus 10% damage until the end of combat. This bonus stacks. Target suffers a minus 50% permanent penalty to ballistic skill, weapon skill, strength, toughness, and agility. If the creature is targeted by this ability for the second time, they die. A power from Pain, we've read that before. Combat Master, Pain Fury. The Chthonnos Pain Engine's wounds are reduced to 2/3 and 1/3 for the first time. The engine gains an additional turn, and the cooldown of devitalization is reset. And aggressive. This creature can attack more than once per round. That's okay.
Don't let your guard down.
I can do that with the right incentive. Don't get too cocky.
I do think Abelard's gonna be our primary damage dealer.
I'll do it.
And my goal is to knock him prone with this attack. I used the wrong skill though.
Faith without deeds is worthless. For you,
Sorry.
my emperor.
Alright, so he's in bad shape.
This is why I was chosen. For you, my emperor.
Alright, so here let's do
I will do my duty.
reckless strike. Alright.
Indeed.
On it. Who if not me?
I do what I can.
Tell me, and it is done.
Abelard was supposed to carry this fight, and it's not going that way. I have to use controlled shot here anyway.
Not like this.
Should have stayed back, Shireen.
Sorry, Abelard. This guy's gonna tear through my front line.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Okay. This might be a party wipe. Not sure why she can't attack.
Am I getting paid for this?
So she can kite him out a bit, at the very least.
You've got a problem, I've got a price. I can do that, with the right incentive.
Yeah, this presents a problem. Well, that might work out. He's gonna run all over there. I should probably be burst firing like this. It's not a ton of damage, but it's better than none, right? I should put this down first. It seems like he can't fit through here. I will gladly take that.
Tell me, and it is done.
A little bit further back, though, just to be safe.
Am I getting paid for this? Don't get too cocky. Whoa! I want a medal for that one.
Well, I found a way to cheese it.
A moving target lives longer. You've got a problem. I've got a prize. Tell me, and it is done. Jai Haydari. Remember the name.
It'll take a little bit of time, but
Don't get too cocky. Am I getting paid for this?
I think we've got it.
You've got a problem? I've got a prize. Tell me, and it is done.
Now he's not even moving, so wrap this up in no time.
Whoa! I want a medal for that one. Don't get too cocky. I can do that with the right incentive. Never cross a Kazbalikan.
Alright. The biomechanical creature is flailing its limbs faintly. Its body is broken and bears the signs of combat, but it seems no one is planning to repair it. You can see the glistening flesh under the cracked carapace and the bunches of wires that permeate it. The armor plates rise heavily, and the creature emits a wistful, creaking sigh full of regret. Examine the creature. Every limb of the creature, the hard ones on skeletal paws, and the flexible ones on metallic cords, is equipped with a variety of implements similar to surgical tools. The jagged circular saws, twisted drills, and vibrating monoscalpels promise unbearable pain. You can clearly see the inside of the mechanism through the holes in its armor. Its gut can open to drag a hamstrung victim inside. Once the victim finds themselves in the monster's stomach, they'll be pierced by injectors that will liquefy them. The substance will then drain to the reservoirs at the tail end of the creature. Address the monster. Can you understand me? The creature emits a series of wheezing sounds. Was it an answer, moans of agony, or just the normal rumbling of its mechanism? There's no way to tell. The creatures in this place only understand the language of pain, Shireen. Let's smash its head in before something happens that we can't undo. What are you? The creature responds with a series... this would be a series, not a serious, of choking and snarling sounds. After a moment, as if realizing that its language is not clear to you, it extends a fighting limb in your direction and a menacing gesture. The message is clear. I am a warrior. I am a killer. And the usual exchange. Something bursts in the creature's gut with a quiet squelch, and a puddle of oily ichor spreads from under its belly. Kick the abomination hard. The impact lands on a cracked armor segment, and a wet, rumbling howl erupts from the guts of the mechanism, a sound that could easily be confused with a painful groan. The monster's limbs twitch in fear, and retract under its belly. Finish off the creature.
Let us not dawdle.
Life Sunderer. Primary weapon. It's a heavy weapon though, so Jai can't use it. A Chthonus' pain converter. The Chthonus is a xenomechanism that devoured its victims' suffering and converted it into energy. So I'm guessing we can use that to fix Abelard at the homunculus. And heavy leather armor. I still think that's worse than the xenomesh, right? And it's heavy, so doubly so. And that's a lower Xenos check, so we can't open that yet. We haven't recovered Heinrichs.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
I always have a backup plan.
Yes, I'm hoping that the homunculus can fix most of our problems. I'm hesitant to use the services of a homunculus, but we don't have much of a choice. Again, I'm assuming that's what he's going to be used for.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
That's a pretty tough fight, though. He reduces all your primary stats to 50%, and then he kills you after. And he gets an extra turn every time you reduce him to a certain
Keep your
threshold.
wits about you.
Just what an awful fight. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time, actually we'll just go park next to the,
I always keep my options open.
Oh, here's this too.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, we'll park right here, and next time enter here and meet with the homunculus. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.